What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about Lucid. I want to give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what's moving it today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. Currently, it is down 2.98%, roughly 20 minutes left in the trading day, 243 the low, 255 the high, and kind of okay-ish volume, so 34.6 mil for the volume, 40.2 is the average. Majority of the transactions occurring today are linked to shorts as well as algorithmic trading. Couple of things really putting a damper on the broader market. One is Jolt's numbers. So Jolt's came in at 7.44 million, and the forecast prior to today was 7.8. So of course shows more of a loosening in the broader market. And this is what Powell was somewhat concerned over, but there's a lot of other data points for us to, I guess, essentially worry about, such as GDP tomorrow, PCE, but this is kind of causing a little bit of a, I guess, worrisome state in some cases with some investors, but Lucid did actually put out some news of its own. So yesterday, they put out this. So Lucid Air earns a 5-star overall safety rating, and as I've stated in the past, I've kind of mentioned about how the Gravity might be delayed due to homologation. I think this is somewhat proof of that, because Lucid in the past has put out news like this saying that the Air got homologation, but so far as what I can read, this does not state anything about the Gravity. So it is fair to assume the fact that they haven't announced it, the Gravity hasn't received homologation yet, despite the actual crash testing occurring tail end of August. So this came out yesterday around noon, wasn't really bought up at all because of this, but there was also this that did come out today. So everyone was waiting and is still waiting for Gravity news. So it looks like Lucid Gravity orders to open November the 7th. There's a couple of good things and bad things in this. So the fact that we're actually hearing about the Gravity is good. Bad thing is price point. So it shows 94.9 as the starting price point for the Gravity, or where was it? The Grand Touring, if I remember correctly, the Grand Touring trim. So 94.9 is a lot higher than what people did anticipating, because they were anticipating for it to be sub 80. That way it'd be able to qualify for the tax credit. Everyone would be happy, win-win, but 94.9 is over the threshold. And in general, a lot of Lucid Airs are kind of priced around this same price point, some lower, of course, and those are kind of encountering demand issues. So in my opinion, I think this was a little bit higher than what was anticipated. But on a positive note, it does show 800 horsepower, so I think that's higher than what was previously announced. So like I said, good, bad. And the only negative as well to note about all of this is it talks on orders are opening November the 7th, but nothing about production. So it is fair to assume that actual deliveries will be commencing in Q1 of 2025. Or possibly a little bit further than that. And a lot of those rumors have been coming out. It turns out they were true. So looks like Gravity, even though they're putting the date of November the 7th, so that's when they're taking orders, but deliveries, production might be, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But no matter what, this news, I feel like a lot of people were expecting it just to skyrocket to $4, $5, $10. I saw all this crazy stuff, but big money's not really buying into this. So you can kind of see based on the secondary market transactions, a lot of big money is selling today. So like I said, it could be linked to just the macro data, or it could be specific to Lucid because maybe they were anticipating a lower price point, or to actually hear about production dates, saying production and deliveries will be commencing, blah, blah, blah. Nothing of the sort. So it's kind of a good, bad kind of scenario. I think a lot of Lucid's news recently has that good, bad kind of attribute. So we'll just have to wait and see. But in my opinion, it could also be linked to just the no homologation news. So it might be linked to that. But aside from that, we do have this coming out. So this is the latest questions. It's been a good week or so since I've kind of talked on this. So Paul's question is still number 1. And so this is in relation to just the stock price. I don't really know what they expect to hear from Peter. Like, you're not going to hear, hey, we're going to do a buyback right now and cause the stock to go to the moon. No CEO will ever say that. They'll just say, you know, that's the nature of the game. Like, we're a startup, we need money. Like, a dilution inverse to stock price, it'll go down. pretty straightforward. And I kind of questioned Paul a little bit. So I did a video in Q2 saying that, is Lucid staging questions? Because I just found it weird, just the level of competence, if that's the right way to say it, for the questions. And just Paul's questions immediately, day one, like within 2 hours for the most part, already got like a massive amount of shares being voted for it. So kind of seemed interesting. So Paul definitely is kind of questionable, and that's a very lowball question. Like easy for Peter to say, hey, like we have no correlation with the stock price. It is what it is. Skylar, I like some of his other questions. I don't know why this one's being pushed, but do you plan to offer more affordable vehicles? If so, what's the timeline? That's literally all Lucid's been talking on. So I think just a lot of these questions are crap. And then Ryan's question, what does the future of the company look like? I have no idea what he or anyone would anticipate. We're 1.3 million shares represented based on this, what people would want to hear. Like Peter's just gonna be like, the future looks bright, looks a-okay to me, optimistic. Like what are they looking for an answer? So I think this time around, Lucid is only going to answer the top 3 in my opinion, but we'll just have to wait and see. Shorts right now are increasing 534,000 shares. So I actually just filmed this video. I did make an error, so that's why I'm actually redoing it. So you might see 2 Lucid City videos today. When I actually filmed this, roughly like 30 minutes ago, shorts were returning 2.1 million shares, and now they are increasing. So some shorts just decided to double the hell down on Lucid. So right now, like I said, increasing 534,000 shares, cost of borrow average is 2.4%, utilization is 78.91, and then short score is 82.46. And actually them increasing now does match with this right here. So maybe some of these entities are linked to shorts. And so this is why, once again, by shorts increasing, they sell first, right? That's what they typically do. And so, yeah, it is what it is. But aside from that, moving over to options, 546,000 in calls, 186,000 in puts, 50% of all the options being done so far are optimistic. So somewhat evenly divided today. Of the call options that are being purchased so far, you see a consensus for it to be roughly above $2.50/$3, and looking at puts, more of a consensus for it to be sub $2 for the foreseeable future. So yeah, it's not a lot of optimism, and I feel like today really did hit home for a lot of investors. A lot of people were under the impression that the Gravity was going to be the saving grace for Lucid, and clearly, in my opinion, it's a little bit more of a drop. And still there is hope for Lucid, especially during their upcoming earnings, to save and salvage the sentiment right now. But as I've been stating, basically 2023, I was saying Lucid is going to go down. Some people don't like that. A lot of people don't like when I'm honest. And I basically said Lucid is going to go down because the next big catalyst is coming out basically now, like the Gravity. So for a whole year, people had to pretty much wait for the Gravity, talking on how big it's going to be. So I think it got so hyped up, it's not living to the expectations. And no different than if the Gravity is a flop, the next big catalyst for Lucid is, yeah, you have this 79.9 Gravity, but the next big one that they're going to be talking on that's going to help them to profitability, as what they've stated, is that mid-size SUV. So that's late 2026. So another basically 2 years of just hoping that Lucid is going to really get themselves out of this rut. So I think that is why big money is kind of selling, regrettably. But right now with it at $2.44, it is right above this S2. So it's actually bounced off of both this S2 and the pivot. So 254 is going to be a strong resistance point, and then 243 is going to be the following support. And then below that, one point to watch for is 235. So all in all, not necessarily the best. One thing that I do anticipate though is new ratings to come out. Nothing as of late, but I feel like a lot of ratings might come in due to the Gravity. Just kind of speculating based on the price and what that could do for future revenue, but we'll just have to wait and see. On the actual chart itself, honestly, as I've been stating, you had some optimism yesterday, but yeah, this is very bad. Almost every single indicator that I look at is bad. The only thing that's positive that you could kind of talk on is the stochastic RSI being very oversold. And that is what even Zach did use as a buy signal. Just the fact that it's massively oversold is a reason to buy. I kind of disagree, but yeah, let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Hopefully this video wasn't overly bearish. I always like to give you the good, bad, and the ugly, and clearly with it down 3.57%, market isn't necessarily liking what they are seeing. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Take advantage of this promo because it gives you 8 free shares. Each share is valued up to $2,000. And then over and above that, though, I did launch memberships. So if you like the channel, want to support the growth, you can definitely do so. Or if you want to buy signals and stocks and options, I have made some kick-ass posts that have really hit big. So yeah, definitely pop over there and take a look. And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.